Today I'm going to do a quick review of the Craftsman Orbital sander so that you can see if this is the right fit for you. I've had this model for a little over a year now, and I honestly think it's the best for the price point. When looking at the sander, you'll see consistent themes. This would of course be the Craftsman red, but also a lot of black rubber. Aside from really cool styling, it also provides the benefit of additional grip, and it also gives you a little bit more shock absorbance in case you drop it. I've read countless reviews on the sander, and one of the things that stood out to me is that it has amazing dust collection. We'll see a test on that later. For now, I think it's important to mention that you can also remove the dust bag and attach your vacuum. My biggest complaint with my old sander was definitely the dust collection. With that in mind, I knew that the next one would need a vacuum attachment. This vacuum tip is 1 1/4 of an inch in diameter, and it fits right in perfectly. One thing I noticed is that the casing does want to split when you attach the vacuum, but this was honestly an easy fix. I just cut an 1.5 inch piece of PVC piping and I put that around the sander. It would be ideal to find a vacuum tip that fits around the plastic rather than inside it, but this is what I had at the moment. As far as the sound goes, this is as loud as any other sander. There isn't much of a sound difference given that both of these are spinning at 12,000 orbits per minute, but I have noticed that the Craftsman model is a lot less hand numbing, even after a few hours of use. The motor on the Craftsman model also sounds a lot better, but this is to be expected given the price difference. And in case you missed these specs, this sander uses a 5-inch sanding pad. It has 8 holes in it, making it super easy to align, and this is actually how the dust collection works. The motor's rotation sucks the dust up through those holes. I did a quick test using a wooden board. I left pencil marks on 2 sides, and I wanted to see if one of the sanders could sand the surface faster than the other. To make sure that this was a fair test, I also put 180 grit sandpaper on both of the sanders. As far as I could tell, the results were pretty similar on both sides. And if you pay close attention, you'll notice that the Craftsman sander stops spinning a lot faster than the Black & Decker. I turned them both off at the same time, but the Craftsman seems to have some kind of braking mechanism to help it stop. This is actually really nice because it means you can set your sander down immediately and you don't have to wait an eternity for it to stop spinning. Now we're going to do a dust collection test, and this was actually my favorite part. To be fair, once again, we're using 180 grit sandpaper on both sanders. And after a few seconds, you can see that the dust starts to pile up quickly. I think you'll agree with me that the results for the Craftsman are much different. I even gave the Craftsman a little bit of extra time just to see if the dust would pile up, but it just never happened. And I must say, it was pretty awesome to see the dust collection in action, and it's very reinforcing since that's what all the reviews said. And here's a quick reminder of what the other one was like. Like anything else, the Craftsman sander will get dusty eventually. After all, it is a sander. But with the vacuum attached, I would say that it makes an 80% difference. That's just my own opinion. If I had to sum up all the benefits this sander provides, I think I would have 3 main takeaways. The first and most important to me is the dust collection. Since my garage is my shop, it's important to keep this place clean. The second would be the quality. This feels great in your hand, and honestly the rotation of the motor feels a little bit more well put together than any of the other sanders I've tried. Last but not least, I would say comfort. The grip feels great, and I can honestly use this for hours without numbing my hand, like my old sander. It's also worth mentioning, there is a battery operated version of this, but I chose not to buy it because I was concerned that the battery would drain too quickly. So that just really depends on your preference, but I'll be sure to leave both in the description.